Today is an important day, and I'd like to leave some messages with you today. Some messages that hopefully will remain in your mind that you can keep referring to as you go through life, because ultimately this is a pit stop. What we're doing right now is a pit stop. And it's a pit stop where you get to, the definition of a pit stop is when you are in a race, right? These cars that are speeding around on the F1 circuit, their tires need changing, they need refueling, they have a small technical problem, they pull up, they have a tiny rest break, but they get recharged and then they go back out onto the road again. Are you with me? And you are going back out onto the road again. And this is a pit stop. Are you with me? So in the zone is a moment where you get to take a step back and start analyzing the things that you need to do with your life. Your life will be over before you know it, unfortunately. You are looking at the next 50 years or whatever time you think you have, and you think that's hell of a long time. But if you actually sit down with somebody who is, in their 80s, in their 70s or 80s or 90s, and they are basically towards the tail end of their life, and if you have a time to sit down and talk to them, they will tell you they simply did not have enough time. That it was over before they knew it. Are you with me? So, the thing that you have to recognize is if they feel that way, none of us are going to have enough time. The thing that you have to do is make use of the time that you have right now, here. This is your opportunity to make the most of it, so that when you look back, there's simply no regrets. That's the best way to live it. So every day is a lifetime. And every day, when you end every day, you must be able to look back on that day and say no regrets. If you live your life that way, where you're able to look back on the day and say no regrets, this is a day well lived. This is a day that has been fruitful. This is a day that I've been able to accomplish something. This is a day where some change has happened. This is a day where I can recognize my 1%. If you can do that every single day, then the microcosm of your day will expand to become your lifetime. Are you with me? So as you go to bed every night, this is what you need to do, is look back on that day and say, what did I do? So this whole purpose of Mauna, the sphere of silence, is to simply practice that. To practice on a daily basis, what have I done? Because the biggest challenge we all face, every single one of us, we have a disease that's worse than inconsistency. It's worse than inconsistency. And inconsistency is already bad enough. And I'm telling you something that is even worse than inconsistency. The only issue that is really worse than inconsistency is, simply put, procrastination. What is that? So they say, it's okay, I have time. So they become apathetic. I have time, I am young, I can do this later. They have 100 reasons why. So procrastination is death. If you can live with a sense of urgency, then you have been able to somehow go past this disease called procrastination, which means tomorrow. Procrastination simply means tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. Let's do this tomorrow. Why not we do it now, like tomorrow? Today is a day off. Why can't I, practice some self-discipline today? Why don't I do the sphere of silence today? Why don't I go to the gym today? Are you with me? There's always tomorrow. But tomorrow, on the other hand, never comes. Tomorrow never comes. On the day you die, there is still going to be tomorrow. Is that not true? On the day you die, is there going to be tomorrow? Think about it. Is there going to be tomorrow on the day you die? You never meet tomorrow. You never live in tomorrow. Even when you die, there will be a tomorrow. Tomorrow is an illusion. So setting anything for tomorrow is a waste of time. The way that we live is the issue. Planning, projecting, that's not a problem. Preparation, planning, projecting, plan for 100 years ahead. Plan for 100 years, but live as if today is the last day of your life. So that's the balance you need to find. Live today as if it is your very last day, but plan for 100 years. Planning is not a problem, but depending on tomorrow is a problem. Waiting for tomorrow is a problem. So the answer to tomorrow is do it now. And that was one of our phrases for a week on some years ago. Do it now. Are you with me? That was our slogan. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. That's what you say to yourself every time. Do it now. Start now. As another ancient Chinese saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, which means start now. Move now. Do it now. There is nothing else but now. Are you with me? Coming back to the issue, procrastination. Procrastination is worse than that. Are you with me? Tomorrow never comes. Okay. This guy basically did not allow anything to get in the way of his goal. He was focused, he was prepared, he had planned, he got to the track, and then he didn't count on anybody else. He didn't look towards anybody else. He was setting his own pace, and he broke his own record. So when he took off, they were shocked. They thought that he was crazy because he had another 800 meters to go. So normally people, put their final burst of speed in the last 100 meters. Are you with me? This guy took off. But he took off because he knew that he can maintain this. And he went all out because he said, I must. And his only focus was this finish line. No one else. Nothing else. So without anything diverting him, he crossed that finish line. Are you with me? So, I must is all about that. So when you go out of here, when you get the chabi to leave this room, chabi is the key. So when you get the chabi to leave this room and go back into your lives, this is the pace that you have to maintain. So the question you asked me all the way throughout, which is, why is it people cannot be into your zone? Why was nobody in his zone? Why were they not running next to him? Simply because they could not keep up. So therein lies your answer. When you go back out there, as I pointed out yesterday, there will be a world, a different world from the one you walked into. We are all still under a certain level of lockdown. And by the time you head out there, the world will be essentially different. And it's a world that will be essentially very challenging. So, your ability to withstand, overcome, and achieve is in you, no one else. No one can actually make any decisions for you in this regard. I must is a fire. I must is a passion. I must is born out of a total necessity. It must be born out of necessity. Are you with me? That means that there is no luxury of you going back. The only thing you see is moving forward. And you must get into that mode. Is there any point in not living in that mode? I don't understand. Is there any point in not living in that mode? What kind of life are you living the way that you live right now? You might think the comfort zone is very nice because it sucks you in. But the comfort zone destroys you from inside out. You feel empty and hollow because you're nowhere near your full potential. You need to be touching your potential. Do you understand the exuberance of that man when he ran that way? It is the most incredible high. Are you with me? Now, within your own lives, you are running a race, Baba, and it's a race against time. And time is running out. Now, you want to live out in La La Land, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing you can do beyond a certain point if the person does not wish to be confronted, does not wish to up their game, does not wish to come into your zone, does not wish to give you trespass. There's nothing you can do. You really cannot. It doesn't matter how close you are to that person. It doesn't matter how much you care for that person. You can only watch while they self-destruct. Now you have to ask yourself in the last 14 or 18 years whether there is this kind of a trajectory or whether it is this. If it is this, you might as well go backwards. Unfortunately, it's a question only you can answer yourselves. Are you with me? Life is short. Very, very short. It's difficult for us to see that because we are right now in the midst of it and we are swallowing the comfort zone. We are accepting the rubbish that, is in the back of your head, that the lie that you have been living every day, the lie that is that you're saying you have more time, you are fine, you have done well, you are better than most. All of this is garbage. The only point is, are you living at your best? Your bank account is not an answer. Are you getting my point? Your lifestyle is not an answer. How fit you are is not an answer. The only thing that answers you is, am I at the best possible potential that I could be? Just that 1% better every day. Are you sure of it? How do you know? Some questions were put to me all the time. How do I know about the 1%? How do I know about the 1%? How do I know about the 1%? I'll tell you. Anybody who's in my zone knows about it instantly. Instantly. They know because they just want to take a break. Now you have to ask yourselves, why do you need to take a break, Baba? Why do you need to take a break? If you think, if for some reason now at the peak of your fitness, you decide to take a medical examination and someone tells you that you got 90 days to live. Now you want to take a break? Tell me. Can that possibly happen? So why the hell you want to take a break? No one else can put this pressure on you except you. If you've got 90 days to live, it needs to be lived to the fullest. Does it not? You need to bring out everything that's inside of you. The concept is to die empty. To die empty, the first thing begins with confrontation. Don't keep things piled up inside of you. Because life takes on a brand new meaning the instant you have 90 days to live. What will change if you have 90 days to live? Tell me. Is there anything that will change in your life? Every day will change. Every decision will change. The question you have to ask yourself is, why am I not living like that right now? Is there any need to procrastinate? These things need to be heard over and over and over again. Procrastination is worse than death. Tomorrow never comes. Write it down somewhere. And know this. one of the reasons that you are sitting here in this comfort zone, so comfortable with your lives, so comfortable with where you're living right now, taking everything for goddamn granted, is because why? You have been blessed. You have been blessed with, you lack nothing, you have a roof on your head. You don't have a gun to the back of your head, you have a roof on your head, your family is around you, you're eating 3 times a day, you do not have COVID, you're locked down, and you're enjoying yourself. If any of these factors were challenged, your world will change. True or not true? So how are you grateful for this or not? You know the energy that you see in the people who are not so blessed? Not as blessed as you, the people who procrastinate all the time, who are inconsistent all the time. You are inconsistent and you procrastinate simply because you have everything. And that has become your curse. The blessing has become your curse. Where is the sense of urgency in your lives? Who, come on, show me that you have a sense of urgency. I want to know. Who among here tells me you have a sense of urgency? Now you tell me. Let's talk about your sense of urgency and whether you are anywhere close to that level that you know you can reach. You know you can reach, right? You know it in your hearts. So if I don't send this message across to you seriously, this is my style of confrontation, of reaching you, knocking past all these defenses that you have, knocking past all the lies that you tell yourself. At some point, you need to listen, no? At some point, if not today, at some point you will listen. I guarantee you one thing. You can procrastinate now, you can be inconsistent now, you can slip back into the comfort zone tomorrow, you can sink back into the mud, but there will come a time of reckoning when you are out of time. It's the end of your cycle, your life, you look back alone. That is the time you will have to come to terms with how you have spent your life. Are you with me? And that's the question that I want you to ask yourselves when you say, I must. Because you're networkers, no? Because you're networkers, you want to say, I must. It's a rah-rah thing, you know. Yahoo, I must. No, I want it from here. I need it from here. You're not on stage. You're not here to, impress all your downlines. You're not here to impress anybody. You are here facing yourself. So when you say, I must, it must resonate only from one place. And that is here. And the scream must go from here back to here. It's a very short distance.